Hi guys, it's Maaike. I am back today with another Halloween project. Well, actually, I say another, but this is the first one. I made this one for the Sound System Monday challenge a few weeks ago, and today I thought I can make Halloween ones because that's imminent. And you might need treatbags, and I don't have that beautiful die that Longfont sells, and this is how it turned out. I used a ribbon that's a little bit too big, but I also pulled out these rectangle shaped dies so I can make the little handle that the Longfont one has. I don't know how big that is, but I made it so you can get two out of a sheet of 12 by 12 paper. And I pulled out some ribbons and my foam stamps and then some paper. I thought this was a bit Halloweeny, orange and black. I don't really have anything Halloween, and I'm just checking if they fit because I didn't do that before. So it's really easy. I have to get my plan. You score at 2 inches, so this is 6 by 12. So you score at 2, and I noticed a tear, so I thought, oh no, just leave it. 2, 5, 7 and 10 inches, and then you score it, or you turn it, sorry, and score it again at 2. That's for the bottom. And then of course you reinforce your score lines or burnish them, it depends how you do it. So there's a double one here where you stick them together, and you could cut it shorter, and I will do that on this one, but usually I don't bother. Sometimes paper is really thick, you might want to, but this was not very thick a paper. And I'm checking, I wanted to use the skull on the black because it looks like a pirate flag, but yeah, I didn't think it would fit, so I'm doing another version first, which is more like the Christmas one. You can get 2 out of a sheet of paper, as I said. It's 6. You could make it higher, but then it doesn't go through, well, at least not my big shots. If you have those really big one, professional ones, it might go through. Yeah, 6 inches is the maximum of my plates, so keep that in mind if you want to cut out. Maybe you have a punch that does that, maybe a label punch that's kind of handle shape. And I couldn't really see if it was inked properly, so I have just put some extra on to be sure. And I'm gonna stamp it back and front. You could just leave it at one side, but yeah, I was there. And I'm using white embossing powder from Zing, and actually the glow in the dark one is charging in the windowsill, so I grabbed it because I thought that would look funny for Halloween, but it won't show on black. So I thought if I emboss it first in white, and then when it's still hot I sprinkle over, see it's charged now, I sprinkle over the embossing powder glow in the dark, then it would look more. And I did that off camera for one, but I will show you the other one. I'm heat setting it with the white, and I try to sprinkle it on while it's still hot, but it cools down quite quickly, so you have to be quick and maybe do it a few times. So I think I added it, heated it 3 times and such. Of course you can just leave it white, or you don't have to. You could even stamp it white if you have that white unicorn, but I thought embossing would show up better. You see, it does, so it's really hard to see because I'm sitting next to a window. To show it to you is just hard. But yeah, that's life. I will take pictures tonight, and then you can go to my blog and see how it looks in the dark. So I'm using the glue gun, and somehow it's really hot today. I don't know, it wasn't like that. I think it's breaking down. And I'm looking, there's a seam, so I'm making that the back of the gift bag and making sure that the fold that goes to the back is here, so you have a smooth look and not a seam. So I pinch it. I like to do that, and that's where the cut-off paper was messing up my nice fold. But you know, it's 12 by 12 paper, so you can just leave it. You make it really small, but I just left it. And then I punch holes for the ribbon, but this punch was too big and the other one was too small. I didn't have one in the middle, so instead I would suggest you to staple it or glue it together. And I pulled out orange because I thought that's a nice Halloweeny color. See, I'm trying to make a few knots, but that just looked horrible. It kept coming through, and you could put a little bit of a stopper with a button or something in there as well, but you know, they're treat bags. You don't really want to spend too much time on it if you have to make 100 or something. See, oh, it looks nice. And then I just taped it. That would also hold, I guess, but I'm not sure how rough children are with their treat bags. Yeah. And so I just tape it and then I'll staple it later. I didn't like the knot. The one with the Christmas was really thick ribbon, and that knot was just way too big. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to show you the other one where I die cut. So again, I score 2, 5, 7 and 10 inches, and then 2 and the long side. And also burnish. And then notch and cut. You could actually cut off one of those little bits because it's also a double layer, of course, but nope. See, in this one I did it differently. I just wrapped it around and first glued it and put a little string around it with a bow. That's also an option, but more work. So this is die cut, and I guess any shape you have would do. I looked at my slider channel dies. See, they didn't go, they were really small, but see, 6 is really maximum for my big shot. And here I was contemplating to do it tone on tone, and I pulled out the Morocco, and it actually shows up nice. So I like orange pumpkins instead of the black. I made it orange, but any color. You can also heat emboss it, of course, if you want. And yeah, it's a bit crooked. It's hard to see with a foam. If you like, you could make the eyes black with a marker or cut them out and make them see-through. But yeah, again, if you have to make 100 or 50 or even 10, then might be too much work. So again, just a bit of glue. You could use tape runner, but hot glue gun is much more secure, and it was really, really hot, and I burned myself a few times. But see, there's the seam, so that's the front, and I want to make sure that the flap from the front goes to the back, so there's no seam. See, they have the little handles, and you can notch them. If you like, you don't have to do that, of course. I just think it looks more like a bag. And if you wanted a bit of that brown bag feel, you could maybe take an edge die as well and make it like wavy on the top. Or if you still have those decorative scissor ones, yeah, try those. So I once bought these colored staples. I love it, 20 years ago, maybe longer. But I also wanted to show you, I didn't want to make another box just in the camera, but you can just either glue it to keep it in place first, which I'm going to do later because this is very fiddly. You need free hands sometimes. And then you just glue it and then you staple it to reinforce it instead of that scotch tape that I used on the other box. That might be a bit more. But once you put the staple in, you know, the little folds on the side, they don't fold anymore because the staple's in the way. So, you know, it's a choice what you want to do, if you want a handle or a little ribbon. And yeah, yeah, it doesn't show, it's too light in my house. So this is the one with 2 ribbons, but I used a 2 thicker one. The one with a really 1 ribbon that also needs a staple instead of Scotch tape. And the one that has the handle die cut and also a handle that's stapled. So 4 options for you, and one with the blue box. 5 options in one video. So thank you for watching, and I hope you like it. I will see you again soon. Bye.